Hello, wonderful people. This is Tim Buckley. He was born in 1947 and he died in 1975. An American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and music producer. He began as a folkie, but his subsequent career touched on jazz, psychedelic, funk, soul, and avant-garde. He died at the age of 28 from a heroin overdose. Tim was born in Washington, D.C. He grew up in New York State. At age 5, he began listening to his mom's jazz albums. He particularly liked Miles Davis. The family moved to Southern California in 1956. And he was further exposed to the music of Bessie Smith and Billie Holiday, as well as that of Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland, Hank Williams, and Johnny Cash. The 60s brought folk music back into focus briefly. Buckley taught himself to play banjo. He played in a high school band with Kingston Trio covers. And he formed a band, the Bohemians, and another, the Harlequin 3, incorporating beat poetry into his set. His self-named debut LP and follow-up, Happy Sad, went in 1969. Prior to that, he played at Orange County coffee houses and hootenannies at the Troubadour in LA. Hootenanny. That's like people with acoustic guitars singing, and there's some dancing. Kind of like a sock hop, I guess. Jimmy Carl Black of the Mothers of Invention got Buckley an extended gig at the Night Owl Cafe in Greenwich Village, bringing Buckley back to the East Coast. This led to signing with Elektra. In '68, his debut was an example of the new folk rock genre. Goodbye and Hello in '67 was next, and it was richer than the debut in structure and timbre. The lyrics were like hipster poetry reflecting the summer of love, but in a studious manner. There was also an anti-war consideration without seeming as a protest. Pleasant Street was pretty dark. He was already estranged to his wife and children. Buckley did not want to be the next Dylan. Goodbye and Hello charted to number 171 in the U.S. His songwriting's mate, Larry Beckett, was drafted, and Tim developed his own style, which was jazzier. He toured Europe, and his new album, Happy Sad, charted to number 81 in the U.S. In '69, he took influence from Kathy Berberian, a singer of avant-garde music. Steely Dan lyric from Your Gold Teeth references Ms. Berberian. Just side comment. His folk audience became alienated. The albums Blue, Afternoon, and Lorca did not garner critical praise. His next album, Star Sailor, was intended to be his masterpiece, but it wasn't. He went broke and drowned his sorrows, and drug abuse mixed the cocktail that would take his life. He tried to be a folk artist, and then he tried to be a funk artist. 3 albums worth. The hippies bailed. His lyrics were now lascivious. Somehow he retained a cult following. But not long after a sold-out show in Texas, he partied too hard and just stopped breathing. Heroin can do that. His death certificate said acute heroin/morphine and ethanol intoxication. This had not been a long addiction. He didn't know how to do a long addiction. Some people just don't know how to do that, and maybe shouldn't try. Friends considered his end to be predictable. Buckley died in debt, owning only his guitar and amp. His 8-year-old son, Jeff, had met his dad only once. Like so many, Tim Buckley didn't have what it took to be a family man. Here's the other albums. Greetings from LA in 72. Sophronia in 73. Look at the Fool in 74. And there's 9 live albums. He was 28, ineligible for the 27 Club.